myself confident it would happen, my family confident would happen, a global wrestling fandom confident would happen. And that's the nature of Roman Reigns, and the nature of the industry is you can't be that confident. You can't be, nothing is ever that obvious.
I am here with WWE Superstar Cody Rhodes. Cody, congrats on being the #1 draft pick for Monday Night Raw.
That's a pretty wild thing to hear. I was hoping I'd go #1, right? You want to go #1 overall, but just as long as you can attach one to yourself, that's a special feeling. Also, congrats on that really sweet 10 Forward shirt you have. That's what you got on, right?
Thanks, man. Thanks. I'm surprised we didn't get you on at the Picard premiere.
Yeah, that's a good shirt. I'll tell you, I don't know if you've ever eaten at there's a restaurant at where's it at Epcot called Space 220.
I haven't been there.
Space 220 is the closest thing I've ever been to an actual 10 Forward, because it's just a big space, just like 10 Forward. Just like it's just a big out into space, and it's just the closest I've ever been to a real life 10 Forward.
I don't want to make you jealous. I've actually eaten at the real 10 Forward.
Oh yeah.
Last year they took the 10 Forward set from season 2 and they put it in LA. And I went there and I got to eat at the captain's table with my friends, and we actually had a 10-course meal. It was amazing.
That's pretty baller. Baller. I love that.
That's super cool. All right, let's get some wrestling business going here.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about WWE SuperCard, which is in its 9th successful season. And there was a new update just released on April 24th. So tell us what's new with SuperCard, Cody.
I know, like you mentioned, the 9th anniversary of SuperCard. They just had the big update. There's a big surprise, I believe, coming in the month of May or June. I know for me, it's become knowledge that I have, what is the number? 33 variations of cards throughout it's basically a catalog of everything that I've done in my career, the different versions of me, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing to see yourself, how you've painted yourself so differently over the years. But it's definitely helpful for me in terms of visually remembering where I was when that moment occurred. It's a really active fan base, man. I think that's what I like about it is, again, 9th anniversary, continuing. I'd say SuperCard a little ahead of the curve in a sense that a lot of, whether it be our figures or whether it be the 2K series, some things we campaign for and we push for, and then ultimately the fan service element of it, we get them. I've noticed with SuperCard, they kind of sneak things in a way that they're sometimes the first to the party on things that people want, which is just really what's encouraging. If you're just now jumping into SuperCard, if you're just now, it's not just an active and large community that's still playing and playing this game, but also your developers and your team really are trying to give people the utmost maximum experience, just dominating that card space.
And speaking of video game dominance, WWE 2K23, which is 25% off PlayStation right now, it's the highest rated game in the franchise's history. What's cool and new with 2K13?
I think it's been 14 years since my first appearance in a 2K game. For it to be the highest rated in the series is the absolute best. I know for me, I was very hands-on in terms of the character model. Again, the American Nightmare is something, it's a brand was developed outside of WWE, and WWE's been able to just take it. And with when they take something that's yours and you care about, and they're going to put it out there in the way that WWE has the largest audience as far as sports entertainment in the world, there's always a nature of trepidation about, will they do it right? Will they do it justice? And my gosh, they've been so loving, really is the way to put it, towards my character model, towards the things that I do in the ring, the motion capture itself. I'm very proud. It took me a while because I didn't want to be DLC. When I first came back, I really wanted to take the time to get it right. They wanted to take the time to get it right, and they did. And for me, I've made it, no secret. It's a goal of mine to earn my way onto the cover of that game, not unlike Madden and these other great sports and sports entertainment franchises, that actually does mean a lot to the rosters. Who's the cover model, and I want to earn my way onto it. John got it this year, and no one deserves it more. But more milestones to come. I'm really just blessed to reconnect with 2K and see it again. The game's been so well received. The only he was at WrestleMania. Brody Lee Jr. He loves 2K, loves it, and I was really glad he could play with me. Actually play with me versus just a content creation of me. And that certainly made my day. So I'm looking forward to what we do next.
I think we all kind of wonder, when you play 2K23, do you play as yourself, or do you play as?
No, I feel like I'm not, I don't know. You either have to make the distinction of you never play as yourself. You'll never do it. That's ridiculous. Or you just fully go all in and have that pride and to a degree that ego. I've got enough of an ego that I want to play as myself. I've got enough of an ego that I want to know what my score was and make sure it was at least within the A range, on an old school chart, essentially. I'm playing it. I'm playing as myself, and I'm not playing as anybody else.
We are nearly a month removed from WrestleMania 39. And, I was watching at home along with millions of others. We all shared the same heartbreak in your main event against Roman Reigns. I need to ask you, sir, what happened?
I wanted to just simply reply, well, I lost. But I've been very careful. I know there's a lot of fans kind of screaming for me to talk about the nature of the loss. And that's not really in my character to break down how it went down, because we all saw it. Mm-hmm. We all saw what happened. I don't need to be on TV whining about it. It still, at the end of the day, doesn't change the results. I think in years of WrestleMania is the most obvious thing ever. Myself confident it would happen. My family confident would happen. A global wrestling fandom confident would happen. And that's the nature of Roman Reigns, and the nature of the industry is you can't be that confident. You can't be, nothing is ever that obvious. As far as I don't have a lot of time to grieve on it, because I jumped right into something incredibly challenging. Again, incredibly challenging underscores the situation with Brock Lesnar, but let's just say incredibly challenging for now. And in addition to that, my goal doesn't change. It doesn't change. I think Roman had mentioned the night before, or a few nights before WrestleMania, about what I would do when adversity strikes, and what I had done previously in his eyes. And I think this is kind of that time in your life when you have to, in every sense of it, within the fiction and within the reality, you have to step up and meet the adversity differently than perhaps you ever had before. A lot of challenges here, Brock Lesnar being the pressing and current most important challenge. But for me, my goal hasn't changed. What didn't happen at WrestleMania 39 is not something that I look at and say it'll never happen. To me, even more now than ever, it has to happen. It's just a matter of when.
That was actually leading into my next question, because I was totally caught up with #finish the story. Mm-hmm. So does finish the story mean the same thing? Has it changed a little bit?
It's been nice to kind of clear that up, in a sense that finishing the story for me is it revolves around one of the titles that Roman has on his shoulders. A title that was linked to the original WWF in the 1970s. That would become the championship belt we grew up with, the Winged Eagle itself, all that beautiful within the 80s, the 90s, the WWE Championship. And again, now it's the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, but it's still linked to that very title. And that is finishing the story. And by no means, it doesn't mean there won't be other stories. It's a beautiful thing. Again, we're talking about SuperCard and the amount of variations and different stories just within this game that, representing my career. This is going to be a very interesting year. But for me, finish the story means the same thing.
And, last week also, Triple H introduced that new World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? I guess it would be an interesting challenge. You were just talking about the legacy of the original WWF title to build a new world title's legacy from scratch.
I think it's incredibly difficult in terms of, you can't just say that something is the most important thing and the fans and the locker room just accept it. What makes it the most important thing is the type of competition that takes place over it. So with the new championship, and as a big fan of just the design of belts and how they look, it's an absolutely gorgeous hunking piece of metal that he's with all these little nods and almost Easter eggs towards older titles in the past. I think how it's laid out in a sense of who's competing for it and who's competing for the lead spot on Monday Night Raw, me having just been drafted to Monday Night Raw, it's definitely within my crosshairs. It doesn't take away from any story that's wanting to be finished or having been told, but by no means is anyone in the locker room looking down on it. If anything, everyone's looking up at it because you want to be the lead dog on Monday Night Raw.
Well, you're definitely the man I'm hoping takes it in Saudi Arabia.
Thank you.
I cannot let you go without talking about Star Trek. You can imagine how happy I was to meet you at the Picard premiere and to find out you're a real Trekkie who really knows his stuff. What did you think of the Picard premiere? The finale.
This was such a wild time for me because there's so many things were happening that I'm a big fan of. So Picard final season, Mando's out there rocking a season. Tears of the Kingdom is coming out this month. There's all this stuff happening that's very much like I have to sit down and take in. I absolutely loved Picard in terms of its final season. The visits, again, spoiler, the visit to the old bridge with the crew, this kind of, I don't know what you would call him, this collection of Data as being the man that was Data, a peaceful Worf. Just really, it was special. It really was. Patrick Stewart he's the captain's captain, really, truly, with all the flaws and everything. And the, again, I won't get too far into it spoiler wise, but the enemies that were chosen, the rogues that were chosen for Picard, really made me excited as a big time Deep Space Nine fan. Really made me excited. And then, of course, I think they wrapped it up in a great way. However, they wrapped it up in a great way, but also there's so many things you could take, so many places you could go. And, Strange New Worlds, I know, is getting ready to rock. Lower Decks, don't sleep on Lower Decks. Lower Decks is a dang good piece of Trek content too. But I'm not taking, as the eternal pessimist, knowing that things come and go. I'm just happy we're living in this world where so much Trek is happening for me to discuss, watch in real time, and really jump on board, because all the Trek shows, from TNG, TOS, all of them, I never saw them in real time. I went back and binged them and became this Trek fan later. So now to be able to talk about it in real time with my friends who are into the Trek stuff, that's really cool.
Like you said, Picard's finale set up some cool stuff that could happen down the line, which they want to call Star Trek Legacy. Now, a thought occurred to me that years ago, you were part of a group called The Legacy with Randy Orton. It seems to me it would be a natural fit for Cody Rhodes to appear in Star Trek Legacy and merge the Rhodes and Legacy with Star Trek.
I have the schedule is what it is as far as WWE is concerned. And my big rule is when in a TV or film project, I still have to be able to make my live events and make TV, which is a tall order for a lot of projects. But I can tell you, my agent in LA, there's one thing that's kind of on the alerts, on the notifications, is when it comes to Trek, I'll take anything. You can put me in a whole Gorn outfit where you don't even know it's me. I'll take it. You can put me in the engine room. I'll take it. I can literally just do something with my face, some sort of recognition on the bridge, ensign, whatever. I'll take it. Just to don the uniform would be really, really cool.
That would be amazing. I would love to see it. Dwayne Johnson was in Star Trek Voyager back in the day.
It's such a wild episode that he's into, and then Big Show is in Enterprise as well. There's already a link, with wrestling and Trek. So hopefully it's something that can happen. I'd give it my full attention for sure.
Oh man, I would love to see it. Cody, thank you so much for your time. I am a massive fan of yours. I know I won't be happy until you're the WWE World Champion, whichever form that takes, but I definitely want you to finish the story.
Thank you so much. That's the plan. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, again, pleasure talking to you. I could talk Star Trek with you for an hour. Maybe one day I'll get to.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Take care.
You too.